Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, back from the Toronto Regionals, back home. Shoot this video right before tomorrow morning, and I will go over the Toronto Regionals later today. I'm gonna post a video around like 4 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully I should shoot it before then. Just going over the regionals. It was a fun event. Lots of pros, a few cons, but overall a great event. So I'll go over that 4 p.m. Eastern if you want to check that out. But I want to bring this. So these are 3 Pokemon that I ended up bringing to regionals, and Shadow Abomasnow was probably one of my better Pokemons for the regionals and a beast in Open Great League. No, this is not Open Great League. This is Great League Remix, because it's even stronger there because you have none of Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk, and the stuff that really Medicham. A lot of the stuff that really hurts Abomasnow is banned. And so Shadow Abomasnow just can like the fast move damage, not fast move, the charge move damage is just so much better on the Abomasnow that you have to respect it, right? So I mean, Toxapex is this only gonna take neutral because it's half poison as well, but even in neutral does like 50% to Toxapex, and Toxapex is really tanky, right? And then Vigoroth is a Pokemon that I originally wanted to bring Medicham, and I probably should have brought Medicham, but the thing with Vigoroth is, my thought process behind Vigoroth was, it is a normal type Pokemon that still does all those counter damage, right? So the strength about that is, instead of losing to Noctowl, which is everywhere, you would win Noctowl. Instead of just getting absolutely the difference between Medicham and Vigoroth. So if you brought Medicham, you would have got beaten hard by Noctowl, right? Here we go. I'm not taking super effective from those wing attacks. I'm a normal typing. I'm not a fighting typing. So I can just spam these, and you beat, if you are in the neutral Noctowl matchup, like you win that Noctowl matchup with Vigoroth. If I saw Trevenant, like Trevenant beats Medicham extremely hard. Vigoroth, although you can't throw everything is resisted. The Shadow Claws and Shadow Ball are double resisted, so they can only throw the Seed Bomb, so you lose it, but it's not as bad as losing with Medicham. And there's a couple others, like you still do good against like the Steels. You do better in neutral matchups against Lickitung because you're not taking super effective from the Licks. You're actually double resisting the Licks, so it's a better outcome. So that's why I brought Vigoroth. I'll go over pros and cons more in my video, but it is also a pretty nice. So this team. So you will see, I did go 5-0 with this team. But again, I just saw a muddy water get thrown on me, right? You don't, I don't really care about going 5-0 this early with a team. The thing with this team is like, I won't go over Ninetales because if you're new to this channel, hello, because I bet Dax just put out a video yesterday. So welcome to the channel. I've gone over Ninetales 500 times already in my past videos about why it's so strong. Vigoroth and Abomasnow are 2 you really should take consideration into, especially the Great League Remix. So I already went over Abomasnow. And why Abomasnow is so smart. This is why it was so smart for regionals. Flyers now everywhere because of the wing attack buff. You do take super effective for wing attack, but in general, oops, sorry, we got the baby monitor right beside me here because it is 10:30 at night. The thing about you take super effective from the wing attacks, but you do super effective as long as it's not Pelipper, you do neutral there. But for the other flyers, you do super effective. And then you just saw the Stunfisk out there, and you've seen Lanturn 100 times now because everyone's trying to counter the flyers. So they're trying to counter it with an electric, like a ground, and you can do super effective to ground with the ice, and you can do super effective to the grass as well, right? So, and the flyers do super effective with the ice, and you do super effective with the grass for the waters too, right? So it's a smart pick. And Abomasnow is one of those Pokemon that people always say, ask me this question, does having a shadow matter? And for the most part, I say no. Abomasnow is a yes. And I'll tell you why. It's because in the Great League, it's generally glassy to start with, right? It's not any sort of like XL Pokemon. It's pretty glassy. If it's going to be glassy, it needs to hit hard, right? And that's kind of why I like Shadow Swampert, and that's why I like Shadow Abomasnow, because you get that extra you're already glassy, so you're already going to take like 2 moves on most cases. So I'd rather just have moves that hurt you as opposed to not. And if you go to the simulation on PvPoke, you actually win like 6 more matchups with the shadow compared to the non-shadow. So like it makes a difference. But just like test out Abomasnow, like super smart pick. You're obviously weak to fire. Not a ton of fire. Like obviously there's my Ninetales, but there's not a lot of fire in open, which means your only other weakness, well, you have 2 other weaknesses, rock and fighting. So why use it in the remix is because, like, again, no Medicham, no Galarian Stunfisk, no Bastiodon. So tons of play in the remix. Does it have play in the open? Yes, you would just need to cover those weaknesses, right? Pair it with a Swampert, pair it with something that can take on those, and then do like a decent coverage in the third one as well. Vigoroth, again, is one of those Pokemon where it was one of the best safe swaps at all time, and then it just kind of got out-bulked in the ending. And now here they are coming in Noctowl thinking, oh, this is a great matchup because Noctowl's buffed now. Does not matter. It is a great answer because the counter is doing neutral, the body slams are doing neutral, the body slams come quick, you can take 2 sky attacks. I mean, you can't take 2 sky attacks, but you take 1 sky attack and not be taken down. I got 2 body slams loaded here. I'm going to get 1 shield back. They're still going to have to throw to take me out. Likely, because these body slams come at like 5s. So it's a very, very, very spammy Pokemon that doesn't take super effective from, will I get 1 more off? I will. And there we go. Here we go. I had an energy advantage and I just grabbed both. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I grabbed both shields from Noctowl. Was it both shields from Noctowl and take it out? Or 1 shield from Noctowl and took it out? Just a beast. It's a nice answer. It's a sneaky, sneaky answer. So if you don't have one built up, I think it's worth it in the Great League Remix. Is it worth it in the open? The problem with it in the open is there are a lot of counter users that don't take super effective from counter, right? Medicham, Deoxys, Machamp. So there's just like a lot of counter users to start with. And there's a lot of Ghost. The thing with Ghost is you also resist Ghost. I hate those matchups where like you can't do anything to each other. Like Ghost, you resist Ghost, double normal, and then the counter and the body slam are resisted by Ghost. So it's just kind of, you're in sort of a neutral-ish matchup, just throwing resisted moves back and forth. So that's, and normal's such an interesting typing because you really just need to watch out for counter use, like fighters, right? I think that's probably normal's only weakness, and then Ghost is the only thing that it really resists, right? So it's very limited in its strength and weaknesses. It's not like all these other Pokemon that have like Abomasnow, weak to fighting, weak to fire, weak to rock, but it does super effective on the ice. It does super effective against grass. It does super effective against flyer. It does super effective against rock. Yeah, it does super effective against rock. The grass does super effective against water. The grass does super effective against ground, right? So it's one of those Pokemon where just like so much coverage for the meta. Vigoroth is one of those Pokemon where you just use it as the ability that if they don't have a pure counter user on their team, I guess Bug, like actually right here, because Bug is resisted, but even resisted, like look how much damage that's adding up there. And I guess Poison 2 would resist. Now that I think about it, would Poison resist? Yeah, because Nidoqueen's like a nice answer. But even so, you get to the body slams after 5, and like I showed right there, like the counters still do decent because counter is counter, and body slam is a nice move. Bulldoze for some coverage. So definitely worth trying those 2 Pokemon out. I think Shadow Abomasnow definitely, just because I said it has like 5 things that it can hit super effective against, so I think that's the better answer. Vigoroth, I really like to play with it. It's a little. Both Pokemon are a little glassy, and that's going to be one of my, go check out my video at 4 o'clock today. Talk about the regionals, talk about my team comps, my battles, the pros of the event, the cons, and yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully in whenever you're watching this. at 4 o'clock today. Thanks.